Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Bob here. Ladies and gents, we're back in Everquest today for no particular reason really. I warned you beforehand, I've not much interesting going on. I'm not doing any, actually I was going to say I'm not doing any totemic armour stuff today, but I kind of am really, because I'm not on purpose, but what I'm doing is I'm just kind of faffing around in South Karana looking for bull elephants really, because they drop bull elephant teeth, which I think someone mentioned on my last video that's a component for one of the totemic quests, which is indeed it is. Also, so is the so is the I think the centaur charger hoof or something. But yeah, bugger them at the moment. That's all I can say. I mean, they're pretty crazy at the moment. They just resist everything. And they're not fun to fight at all. Yeah, so all I'm doing is I'm running around South Karana, and if I happen to pick up a bull elephant's tooth while I'm doing it, then that's super duper. That's fine. This video is going to be a bit of a Q&A really, because I do read all of the messages and comments that you make, and the PMs. I don't reply to a lot of them, but that's just kind of just how it is really. It's not, it's nothing to do with the quality of the comments or anything like that. It's just, my kind of YouTube life generally involves firing up a game and recording and then putting it up. I do watch quite a lot of stuff on YouTube, less and less gaming stuff as time's going by. More and more sort of, well, I mean, obviously, music, and I watch some documentaries, that kind of thing. Yeah, but gaming stuff sort of, kind of less and less, I have to say, because I find it, if anyone's got any good channels, and any gaming channels that they're subscribed to, if they've got anything a bit different, would be quite good. Nothing that's kind of, is now considered the sort of the norm from YouTube gaming channel. If anyone's got any interesting ones that they're subscribed to, then please let me know. But yeah, but I kind of record videos and put them up. My YouTube recording life, my YouTube kind of private life, as it were, kind of just, they're quite separate really. I just kind of keep them separate really. I'm just waiting just a minute, because I'm going to fight this harrier here. Yeah, so I as I said, I do read all your comments, even if I don't respond. But I do get quite a lot of questions, and the same questions kind of come up. So I thought I'd do a bit of a Q&A really to answer some of those questions. Maybe it'll help some of you, maybe not. Maybe I'll spend the next 20 minutes talking gibberish. But a couple of things to do before I start. A couple of things. First of all, I just want to say thanks to everyone for kind of watching the non-Everquest videos I've been putting out recently. I know that it's difficult. I mean, I kind of get the same thing with channels, where you go to a channel for a specific reason, but then you find that channel is kind of starts doing something different, and I haven't really started to do something different. It's Everquest has only been quite a recent thing really, and the channel was kind of a mixture of lots of different random messy things. But Everquest over the last 6 months or so has become has become the one constant, I guess. So I understand that a lot of you guys have come here just for Everquest stuff, but I just want to say thanks for sort of watching any of the other videos and kind of supporting them in that way. I mean, up until now I haven't done the whole ads and monetization thing, so I don't make anything off of it at all. But I just appreciate people that watch them essentially, because it's I know it's difficult when you go, as I said, you go to a channel for a certain thing and they stop doing that thing, or they interrupt that thing with other stuff, but that's always how the channel was supposed to be. So yeah, that's so thanks for that. Yeah, that's brilliant. The other thing I think is that I've noticed that Everquest classic stuff, I don't know if a lot of people have moved over to sort of Twitch rather than YouTube, but I've noticed that it's quite difficult to find EverQuest classic stuff on YouTube. It's getting harder and harder. I know that sad level 1 Undercon, I think, has taken a bit of a hiatus, maybe from recording. I think due to technical issues, possibly. So that was a bit of a shame. A big shame actually, because I love these videos. But I just wanted to. So yeah, there's less and less EverQuest sort of classic stuff on YouTube. I'm finding anyway. I did a search for EverQuest stuff today, and all it came up with was EverQuest Next, which I'm not really interested in, to be honest. But there is a channel. I think they've just started, but there is a channel who's doing some Project 1999 EQ classic stuff. It's called. I think the channel's called Riviak Stockman. So it's Riviak and then Stockman, Stockman, and so that's another channel there that's doing. I don't normally do them, but I just thought it'd a bit of a shout out for that particular one because it's EverQuest Classic. So they're doing some EverQuest stuff there. And if you're looking for EverQuest Classic stuff or more of it, because it does seem to be a bit scarce at the moment on YouTube, pop over to there. I think they have a bit of a group going, so you might actually see some group play rather than my big hairy arse just running around on their own. So give that a bash. So that's the introductions out of the way. So back to the Q&A thing. Let's try and I did have some questions, sort of common questions I was going to answer. I think one of the things that crops up quite a lot in PMs and also in comments on the videos, I can't get Project 1999 running. Essentially, that seems to be quite a common one. I don't have a huge amount of useful advice on that. To be perfectly honest with you, I mean, what I essentially did was I found the wiki. On the wiki, there's a link that takes you to the forums. And basically, on the forums, there's a post by Rogian, basically just telling you what to do. I basically followed that essentially to the letter, and it worked. So if you've got any particular problems, then post them up, and I'll see if I can dig up an answer for you. But that's all I did. You do need the EverQuest Titanium client. That's the only one that works. You do need to follow his instructions to the letter. I think I know that the mistake that I made, even though I was aware of it, I still pressed the button, was once you've installed EverQuest Titanium, don't run the official launch patcher thing. Just don't even double click it, because that will stop Project 99 from running. So that seems to be one of the biggest mistakes that people make, I think, when they're doing it. So don't do that. Follow his instructions to the letter if you can, and hopefully you'll be okay. Next question I think probably is to do with recording, and I think I covered this a bit in the previous video, but I get messages sometimes from people who are having trouble recording, etc., particularly with Fraps. The only thing I can say is first and foremost, I think Fraps is very heavy on the CPU. What I've found is for games that are more CPU than GPU heavy, I have a lot of problems with them. Even on, I mean, to be honest with you, my hobby is kind of like the PC hardware to a certain extent, and I spend quite a lot of my spare cash on it. So I've got a pretty nice PC, but even then you still get problems. I think Fraps is generally just CPU heavy. But the advice I think I gave in the previous video, and it's one that helped me a lot, is to have all your programs on separate hard drives, and that's separate drives, not separate partitions, so separate physical drives. This might not work for everyone, and I'm not saying to invest money in hard drives, particularly if hard drives are in one of those phases where they're going up in price, as they go up and down quite a lot. But that helped me a lot. There were certain games that I couldn't record at all until I did that, and then when I did that, it made a big difference. But what I try and do now is have Fraps on one drive, a game on a different drive, and then my recording, the hard drive I record to is just a different drive altogether. So again, it does mean you need 3 separate drives. Not for everyone, to just chuck money at your PC like that to record on. But it did work. So yeah, that's kind of my only tip. But with the disclaimer that I'm not going to suggest anyone goes and spends money on that. Definitely, because it simply might not work for you, irrespective of what you do, just because of your CPU or whatever. But that certainly helped me anyway, particularly on some games that I couldn't record. Where the hell is everything? A dead body over there. Don Juan's corpse. Super. I don't know where I am. I think I must have come out into a section where there just is literally just nothing. I did warn you that all I was going to do is running around South Karana. Now, I love running around South Karana. It's I played a druid, as I've said before, back on live quite a lot, and the Karanas are my home really. I don't think I ever got past a certain level because I didn't want to leave the Karanas. Essentially, I just love running around, just exploring stuff, watching what people were doing, that kind of thing. Yeah, pretty sad, but that was my Everquest, my life back then. Back onto questions. Another question related to not Everquest, probably more YouTube. Now and again, I'll get sort of someone will send me a PM about sort of starting off on YouTube, and I think to be perfectly honest with you, I'm probably the last person in the world who can really give solid advice, really, because what I do, the way I do things, is not really what the YouTube community wants. I don't think. I think a lot of it is down to luck to a certain extent. At some point, for whatever crazy reason, one of my videos might explode, and you suddenly get an influx of subscribers and that kind of thing. But I don't think it really works like that, really. So again, I'm probably the last person to give advice on it, because obviously my delivery and the way I play and what I say is not really what people on YouTube are looking for. They're obviously looking for something completely different. I think if you look at all the popular channels, the thing is, let's get one thing straight here and be perfectly honest with you. It's highly unlikely. You've probably got more chance of winning the lottery than you have of making it big on YouTube, I would say. The people that have made it big, I personally think essentially caught a game, or they caught something at the right time, and it went from there, basically. I don't think I don't think a lot of them are particularly talented in any way. They're not journalists. They've got no media backgrounds. I think they just essentially just hit a game or whatever it may have been at the right time. They got a pretty big influx of viewers, and it went from there, and that's great. That's all power to them. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that anyone who does this, I'm like anyone else, who's sort of done YouTube, have considered the possibility of being able to do it for a living. But I think in reality, if you're thinking about that when you're coming into it, just forget it, because I don't think it happens. Channels like the big channels like Yogcast, that happened because they hit upon Warcraft, and Minecraft, at the right time, and I think those two guys probably also are very talented at what they do. Sort of kind of geeky comedy is quite a big thing at the moment, and particularly on YouTube. And so for what they do, they're very good at it as well. So I don't think it was just luck with them particularly. I think that also they're good at what they do, is what I'm trying to say. But they also hit on the popularity of Minecraft and Warcraft at the right time as well. I think probably at the time I think that's probably where a lot of the big channels came from. I think probably Warcraft and Minecraft. They hit it at the right time when Minecraft first came out. Started doing videos. People wanted to watch Minecraft like crazy, and it went from there. That's how their popularity grew. But obviously there are people who are also very talented at what they do, and I wouldn't want to take anything away from them. But yeah, I suppose my advice would be that if if you want advice on making a channel popular, is probably go along and look at some of those channels, you know, because they're obviously doing it right. You know what they're doing appeals to the YouTube community, the gaming community, for the sort of games they're playing. You know that, and I don't really. You know, I'm a 40. How old am I? You know, I'm a 42-year-old bloke who kind of sits here and I'm someone who doesn't want to do what everyone else is doing. You know, I don't want to conform to all the tropes and stuff, and to the stuff that you need to do to make your channel bigger. You know, oh, what's that? I found a pearl. Awesome. You know, I'm just not interested in doing that. You know, as I said to you, I'd be lying if I hadn't thought about how cool it would probably be to, you know, have a YouTube channel where you made a living from it, but really it's not something that I ever see happening. And it's not something that I'm chasing. So if that's what you're looking for, probably go and look at other channels. But I think that it sounds like a cliche, but if you're kind of looking at doing things the way that I'm doing it, then I think the key thing probably really is you have to enjoy it. Because I think people can tell if you're. I think people can definitely tell if you're. I mean, certainly I can. I'm sure lots of people can, not just me. They can tell if you're not enjoying it. You know, if you're doing it because you thought to yourself, oh, these Jodcast blokes making an absolute mint out of this. You know, I'm going to give that a go. You know, I think people can tell if you're thinking that way. That might come a bit later on. You know, and there won't be anything wrong with that. But I think that if you're coming into it with that sort of attitude, I think people can tell, and then I think probably that's where you might have problems. Because the other thing as well is if you're coming into it with that attitude, then you're going to be massively disappointed as well, and just get fed up with it, which I think would be a big shame. I mean, I've kind of when I first come onto YouTube, again, much like everyone else. Oh, for pity's sake! What is it with these greens? That surely they can see that I'm a massive, great, big, ugly, scary troll. I've got 4 arms bigger than my legs. Surely they can tell that things are not going to go down too well if they mess with me. I don't know. Anyway, let me just get this fight back under control. These things can rapidly go downhill, can't they, if you don't get them under control. There you go. We're under control again. What was I saying? I completely got sidetracked there, didn't I? Yeah, I was talking about the enjoyment thing. You've got to enjoy it first of all. I think I was saying, much like everyone else, you know, when I first got into the whole YouTube gaming thing, I used to spend days searching for channels and watching videos and stuff. And I've come across, you know, people before who sort of, you know, have put their life on hold for YouTube. You know, they've done it for a bit. They've kind of got reasonably popular, you know, and I'm not talking not really popular, you know, more popular than me. I mean, you know, it's a couple of thousand sort of subscribers and stuff, and it kind of goes to their head a bit, I think, and they become obsessed with wanting to do YouTube, you know, wanting to make a go of it. And I've kind of seen people doing, you know, vlogs where they've said they're going to cut down their work hours, or they're going to give up their job to do it, you know, to sort of really have a go at it and that kind of thing. And yeah, to me, kind of crazy stuff, because it's if you got to that point where you're thinking you're going to have to do that to, oh, he's very low level, this guy. Oh, blimey, that was easy. If you got to that point where you're feeling that you're having to do that to progress the channel, it's probably not going to happen for you, I think, really. I think YouTube is one of those things where you can't. I don't feel that no matter how much hard work you put into it, it's probably going to give back from the work that you put into it, essentially. Because the thing is that the YouTube and all the other social media is all based around this celebrity thing. You know, it's to a certain extent, and there's a real sort of, whether you, you know, and it's whether you're someone who feels that you don't follow the crowd and you're a bit of an individual or not. It doesn't matter. You know, on YouTube it's the same as anything else. Either your face and your voice fits, or it doesn't. You know, and I think that probably if you're going to be successful, you're going to be successful, or if it's going to work for you, you know, and you're going to be able to make a go of it. I think probably it will happen after quite a short space of time. I think if you're having to do tons of work for it, and it becomes a bit like a job before you've become popular, then maybe it's just not going to work. That's kind of my feeling anyway. That's not to say that a lot of the big channels who are popular don't work hard. I'm sure they work very hard. I mean, I know just from recording casually and putting videos up, the amount of time it can take. So if you've got a big you've got a big viewership, and is that even a word? I don't know, but I quite like it. If you've got a big subscription base and there's expectations on you, to produce content, then yeah, a lot of pressure and a lot of work. So I'm not saying that they don't work hard. What I think, I'm trying to say, I think probably is that you're more likely to make it on YouTube because of what you're willing to do, or how you're willing to sell yourself, or even lower yourself, really, maybe, to make it. Essentially, I think there'll be a lot of hard work, of course, but I don't think that's really what's gonna make you or break you. I think there's a bit of luck involved. Sort of hitting maybe a really sort of game, a really big game like Minecraft at the right time. But also it's kind of a thing of, does your face and your voice fit? Is it what are you willing to conform to what people want and just do what everyone else is doing? And I'm just too old for that, really. So yeah, so that's the way I look at it anyway. The philosophy of YouTube by Bob. There you go. If you want to do it, give it a go, because we need, particularly Everquest, we need more content on YouTube, because it does seem to be going downhill. But I don't watch Twitch, you see, so maybe it's more Twitch based, I don't know. But yeah, but other than that, just enjoy it. Just do it because do it for whatever reason. It could be, you could be doing it because it's a substitute for something. You're supplementing something. There's something that you need to do it. Just to keep yourself going, maybe listen to yourself talking. So at least someone's listening to your talk, even if it's yourself. Or just purely because you enjoy it. That's what I would say. But I can't comment on how you make it successful. You'd have to go and listen to some of the big guys for that kind of thing. Anyway, I think I've probably rambled on enough. I was trying to think of, I was going to write them down. I had a whole list of questions that I've been asked, and I was going to answer them. That was some of them. There were some other ones, stuff that I was going to ask, actually, asking questions rather than giving answers. Is the State of Decay videos that I've done. I recorded them at and rendered them at 1080p, and I'm just wondering if the quality of those is particularly better than YouTube, because at the moment what I do is, you may have noticed that, quite oddly, that a lot of my chat boxes and stuff, it's all really, the text is really small. So what I do with Everquest is I play the game in, I play the game in on my main monitor, which is 2560 by 1440. I record in Fraps. You can record at half resolution, so I record at 720p. But I think that does affect because I'm not recording at the native resolution of the monitor. I think it does affect the image a bit. And I think once I render it as well, I think that kind of detracts from the quality again. I mean, to myself, those State of Decay videos look pretty good on the quality front. So if anyone's got any comments on the quality of the Everquest videos, if they're the same or if they're a bit blurry, then what I might do is start recording them at 1080p and rendering them at 1080p as well, just for, it's a bit hard on my whole hard drive space, but yeah. If you've got any comments on that, then please let me know. If you've got any comments at all on what I've been talking about, then please just bung them up. I suppose I should probably maybe I should mention a bit more about what's going to be going on with the channel in the future. There's going to be more EverQuest stuff. I mean, the EverQuest stuff doesn't get pushed aside for the other videos, because what I was talking about earlier on with regards to, I don't know if I spoke about it, but maybe it was something that I was going to talk about was other videos, sort of playing other games and recording them. I know that most people are here for the Everquest videos, but when I think what I've noticed on some channels is that if someone's kind of quite well known for recording a certain game and then they start doing videos for other games, I know that my sort of subscribers are not that way inclined, but what sort of seems to happen is that person gets lambasted for daring to play and record another game. But I think what people don't realise is that game is not taking the place of like for me, for example, State of Decay is not taking away EverQuest recording time, really, because I'm just playing State of Decay. I do play other games outside of EverQuest. So if I'm playing State of Decay, it's because I'm playing that. It's not a case of I'm doing that when I could be doing EverQuest. I'm just playing it, so I'm recording it. That's kind of the way it works. And as I said, I know that sort of people come to the channel for EverQuest, but sort of going ahead, sort of looking at sort of stuff I'm going to be doing in the future. There's still going to be EverQuest videos, obviously, but I'm going to be doing other stuff. I started doing a Thief the Dark Project Let's Play, and I'm not going to continue on with that because I think there's been too much time. Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, it's a bull elephant. I'll have to get that in a minute. Too much time, too much water under the bridge, I think, on that one. But I do have another retro PC game, kind of retro-ish, that I'm going to start doing a Let's Play of. It's a game I've been wanting to do. It's a game I've been wanting to do a Let's Play of since I started doing YouTube. Really, it's one of my all-time favourite classic RPGs. When I say classic, it's not Ultima sort of 3 or Baldur's Gate kind of classic, but it is a classic RPG. So I'll be doing that, so that'll be coming up. I won't tell you, but I'll surprise you with that. It might not be a big surprise, but yeah, well, I'm going to be doing that. More EverQuest. I'm also going to be starting I don't know if anyone's got any interest in it, but I'm going to be starting a Lord of the Rings Online proper playthrough. I've got a lot of history of Lord of the Rings Online, where I've got about 3 or 4 kind of half-assed attempts to start a Let's Play, but I do want to do that again, much like the role-playing game that I'm going to do a Let's Play of. Lord of the Rings Online was one of the games that I got onto YouTube for because I wanted to do a proper series of videos on that, and up till now it just hasn't worked out, but I'm going to be doing that definitely. That's definitely something I want to do. And that was a game I was talking about where they're changing. They're revamping the classes, not changing the classes. I think I might have given the wrong impression, but they're revamping the classes in Lord of the Rings Online for the Helm's Deep expansion. But I'm going to start doing it before that. I was going to wait until the changes went live, but I'll kind of kick that off maybe quite soon. We'll see how we go from a time point of view. But that's going to be a proper serious thing. No mucking about this time. As I said, it was one of the reasons why I kind of started doing YouTube. So I do feel that that's something I really want to do, and more EverQuest, yeah, and more random game, like looks at games, that kind of thing. I've had I go through periods where I have all these grand plans for the channel, just doing different things. I quite like this. I quite like the idea of the What I'm Playing series, where I just do a one-off video on a game that I'm playing at the time, so you can see what I'm playing, and I kind of give a few thoughts on it and that kind of thing. But that I haven't kept up with that as much as I'd like to have done. I think I'm going to sound like a massive hypocrite now, but I was secretly hoping it might get more views than it has done. So that's probably partly why. but I'm going to give that, and I'm going to keep up with that because I quite like that whole thing. I mean, what I'm playing, obviously, I'm shamelessly nicking from Rock Paper Shotguns. What I think, but I don't care. It's they should be they should be slightly honoured that someone's stealing their ideas. So yeah, I'll probably be doing a bit more of that, a bit more EverQuest, of course, as well. What I'll probably do actually is kind of seems quite sensible, really, is as I'm kind of play games and I record them. If I happen across one that seems to be pretty popular, I'll maybe do a series of that. It's difficult to judge what people want, really. I mean, the YouTube the gaming community is so saturated with people doing it, that it's difficult to find something new to play that hasn't already been done before. I mean, sort of, that the RPG that I'm going to try and hopefully do a proper let's play of. It's I don't think there's too much on it, but if you typed it into YouTube, you'll find enough. You'll find enough videos on it. It's difficult to find something different that people might quite like to watch. But yeah, if I come across a game that seems to be quite popular, when I do a video of it, then I might do a little series. That's quite sort of State of Decay. I mean, State of Decay is one of those games where it's quite sandboxy. So it's quite a time investment. When I play sandboxy games, I search every house and look around every corner and under every leaf, essentially. So that takes a lot of time. So I don't think that's practical for me to do a series on. But I mean, if the videos get popular, maybe I'll do a bit more of that. I do have a few more State of Decay videos to put up, and what I'll probably do is maybe just do the odd video here and there just to tell you how I'm progressing and getting on with the game. CCGs was another. This video is going on forever, guys. I'm sorry. You must be weary as I am. But I'm just kind of trying to fit everything into one video. CCGs were games that I was kind of hoping that I would I'd have more sort of coverage on the channel of, because I'm a massive CCG fan. I keep meaning to get Magic 2014 and put some of that stuff up, but it hasn't happened yet. I've got the Scrolls beta, which I look at every now and again, and I haven't really done too much with that either, not as much as I'd want to do. And then of course you've got Hearthstone, which when Hearthstone comes, I mean, I've applied to get into beta. I don't know if I will or not, but I'll probably do some coverage of that, even though I know every bloody Tom, Dick and Harry is already doing it, and even more Toms and Dicks and Harrys will be doing it. Harriets will be doing it, when it comes out officially. But I will be doing some. I feel slightly ashamed about it, because it could be, particularly with books and films, particularly, I'm terrible. But yeah, I could be a bit of a you should get a bit of a snob about stuff sometimes. I mean, I was in work the other day, and someone in work was talking about, they'd read 50 Shades of Grey, and yeah, I'm getting all a bit sort of, what? 50 Shades of Grey, what the hell? Buy a decent book, for God's sake. All that sort of stuff, so you kind of get a bit like that. And it's a bit like that with Hearthstone. When I saw it, I thought to myself, oh, really? Why would you... Oh, bloody hell, Lion's going to attack me. No, it's not. I mean, I was, again, getting very, very CCG snobby. Why the hell would you play Hearthstone when you could play Magic or something else where the characters don't have massive shoulder pads and look like little children? Well, since then I've kind of revised my opinion a bit, because I've been watching videos on it, and it looks quite interesting. I quite like the gameplay. It's quick. I think it's designed to be a bit more quicker. It's designed to be quicker, I think, than Magic. It's. I don't think probably it's going to be as strategical, but it did look quite strategical to me. It's. I think it's just a pretty solidly designed game, which I guess you would expect from Blizzard, really. I mean, I don't know why I was so surprised. I think because I'd become massively disillusioned with World of Warcraft. I think it just then affected everything else to do with World of Warcraft afterwards, and I kind of dismissed the game, but I have watched it. I've sort of been watching videos on it, and it looks quite interesting. It looks like a pretty quick, well designed sort of CCG. So I'll definitely be giving that a bit of a go. I have to say, a lot of my enjoyment of recently has been watching. There's kind of a, I don't know what it's not really. There's a pretty massive UK or British YouTuber. More of a. I think they tries to be more of a journalist than than anything else. A commentator on games, and I've been watching some of his videos playing Hearthstone, and I just been getting massive enjoyment out of just listening to him, because it kind of just sounds like a bit of a dickhead, really. He's one of those people you play games with, and we've all played games with these sort of people before, where they're bad winners and they're bad losers, you know. And I'm sure that we've all come across them before. Maybe even my boys might say that I'm similar, but those sort of people where when they win, they get on your nerves, because they kind of. I don't think anyone's ever played Magic with someone who, you know, they're winning the game, and then they suddenly start exaggerating everything. I'm gonna play this, you know, and then I'm gonna do this, and it all becomes all dramatic gestures, and their voice changes and stuff. It's quite funny, because this guy was exactly the same. He was when he was winning, he was like that. When he was losing, he was quite a bad loser. So yeah, pretty funny. Anyway, guys, that's enough. This video's been long, and I do apologise. And it's just been a massive ramble, really. But yeah, I hope you got something from it anyway. And I'll speak to you again soon. Thanks for watching.